Hello, everybody, and good morning. Welcome to the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show. We are going over the book Thinking for a Change by John Maxwell. But before we jump into Skill 8, we're going to go ahead and invite some people onto here.
All the peoples. And Jennifer. Mr. Andrew. Hello, hello. Is it 4 minutes? What? We haven't been live for 4 minutes.
That's weird.
Yeah, it says live 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, I had it up. Not recording, but it was up. Yeah,
Maybe
up
that's
and
what it is.
ready, so that's probably what it was.
Oh, live for a minute. I was like, how is that possible? I guess, I don't know. Where is that real estate one that I wanted to send?
All right. You all set?
Yep, I am set.
There we go. Alrighty.
Okay, Bill's with us. What's up, sir? And today we're going over John Maxwell's Thinking for a Change, and we are on Skill 8, which is actually Chapter 11. It's really weird. He goes for like 3 chapters and then jumps into these skills, and then all the chapters are named by the skill instead of the chapter. So it's confusing. And there's another book that he did this with too, so I'm like all over the place. Just write down the chapters. That's it. That's all we're asking. So today we're on the question, acceptance of popular thinking. Man, this is a good subject right now. Popular thinking, it says, I'm not an answering machine. If I have all the answers, how come we're in this mess? That was Douglas Cardinal. It says, it's time to become unpopular. And really, that's what direct sales is about. Direct sales is about, hey, look, this is the way it's normally done, but we're going to do it completely differently. Instead of giving all the money to celebrities, sports figures, and entertainers, we're actually going to take the same amount of money that we're spending in advertising, and we're going to give it to the field, the sales field. We're going to let you expand it instead. And that's why there are people in direct sales. There's about 200-ish that make over $80,000 a month, about 200-ish in the industry. That's just off the product alone. Now, there's all the spin-off stuff. And what do I mean the spin-off stuff? There's things like affiliate marketing. There's things like direct marketing. There's things like internet marketing. Just all of those are outside of that 200. The 200 are just the direct sales industries alone. And there's over 5,000 people who earn over $20,000 a month based on the numbers that are out there. Where am I giving these numbers? That's actually from businessfromhome.org. You can actually download the app. I just finally downloaded the app. I didn't even know they had an app because I don't give about the apps. I'm like, I can go online. It's not that much more convenient to type a button than type in the URL, but whatever. So going on there, you can read about the industry. Also, the Direct Sales Association.org. It's directsalesassociation.org, and the World Federation of Direct Sales They're kind of like the governing body, give updates and tell what's going on. And there's really cool statistics on there and things. So that's where I'm getting those numbers from, is I actually have read that from their research. So why should you question the acceptance of popular thinking? And this is just John's list of reasons. Popular thinking sometimes means not thinking. Most people in direct sales don't think. Most people in the world don't think. That's why we have some of the problems we have. It says the problem with popular thinking is that it doesn't require you to think at all. That's Kevin Myers. And we see this a lot inside of direct sales. It's like people will get in the business and say, well, what do I do? Well, what do I do? Who do I talk to? Like they don't know. So instead of trying to figure it out, they just ask, tell me exactly what to do. Now, Ken Blanchard, one of the books that's coming up on the show, actually, Leading at a Higher Level, talks about in the beginning, newbies, brand new people, need exact directions. Exact directions. Here's what to say, here's what to do, and here's the order to do it. It just makes it easier. Unfortunately, many people try to live a life that's way too easy. Again, Jonathan, what's happening? That's Maxwell's way of saying this is what people are really looking for. They're just looking for the easy life. They just want something so simple that they don't have to do nothing. And that's not what we do. When people blindly follow a trend, they're not doing their own thinking at all. So, there's a lot of people who just jump on the bandwagon. They're like, well, it's just convenient. My friends were doing it, so I was going to do it too. My friends jumped off the bridge, so I'm going to do it too. You get a lot of that going on right now. A lot of people jumping. Popular thinking offers false hope. It says many people look for safety and security in popular thinking. They figure if a lot of people are doing something, then it must be right. No, it's not. It must be a good idea. If most people accept it, then it probably represents fairness and equality and compassion and sensitivity. Not necessarily is what John put, and he goes on to kind of explain why. But if you look at some of the movements that have happened in the world, they start out kind of like good, but then they're not good for everybody, and they're not fair, and they're not, they don't work out that well. When you go actually research these things rather than just listening to some people on TV, that's what happens. Popular thinking said, so this is kind of interesting, this is why people are like, well, science is always right. No, science has been wrong a lot, and people don't ever bring this up. And I'll give you, for instance, scientists said the Earth was the center of the universe at one point. That's what scientists said. How well did that one work out? They also said the Earth was flat. That was science at one time. That was science. People were killed over that information. But you guys are like, no, it's correct. At the time it was, but then technology kind of sped up, and they're like, maybe that was not correct. Surgical instruments don't need cleaning. At one time, that was science. That was the medical field. So when you're like, but the medical people told me. Sometimes the medical people have alternative objectives, like making money. Hitler is a good choice to lead the Socialist Party. That was actually, by the way, he won Time Magazine Man of the Year. Do you guys know that? Like prior to all of everything that, horrible that happened. He won Time Magazine. Like, he was promoted as a really good guy. In fact, he was promoted as helping his people. How well did that one work out? So be careful who you support. Never underestimate the stupidity of the masses. That was George Carlin. That has nothing to do with this book at all, but I threw it in there because I thought it was funny. Popular thinking is slow to embrace change. It says popular thinking loves the status quo. So popular thinking goes with a certain personality. And the problem is that's the majority of the personality. So the majority of the people are S-type personalities, and the S-type personality loves popular because it feels like everybody's together. When in reality, everybody is not together all the time. So, but they're going to show you that everybody's together, right? Popular thinking, it says, brings only average results. So not only is it status quo, it only is ever going to bring average results. Because you got to do things that are unpopular to get kind of, the big results. And this is kind of his formula. Popular plus normal equals average. if you're going to go do what everybody else is going to go do, and you're going to be just like everybody else, you're going to get what everybody else has, and that's not much. Jim Rohn talked about that. It says we limit our success when we adopt popular thinking, and it represents putting in the least amount of energy to get by. What does that sound like? Well, I did just enough to show up. I don't know why I'm not succeeding. I don't know why it's not working for me. I'm in network marketing. I got in the company. I buy what you're supposed to buy. Nothing else. Nothing more. You're not doing anything extra. You're not, you're not learning the product line. You're just buying what you have to buy to be active. I've talked to some of the people I know. Some of the people, not all of them. It's just some of them. What did you say to those people is the question. It says we limit our success when we adopt popular thinking. It represents putting in the least amount of energy. Okay, we read that one. You must reject common thinking if you want to accomplish uncommon results. So if you want something big to happen, you're going to have to do something big, something that's not common, something that's not popular. And, let's face it, direct sales, signing up and basically investing money is not popular. Why is it not popular? People will buy all kinds of crap they don't need, right? Everybody's buying big screen TVs. Everybody's buying PlayStation 4s and 5s and whatever the newest one. I don't even know what the newest one is. People are paying all kinds of money for Netflix and Amazon. I can't tell you the number of people who are like, oh my gosh, have you seen the Netflix show? I was like, no, we don't have Netflix. Well, there's this great show on. I know, but I'm not paying to entertain myself right now. I'm paying to build a business. Do you have a GetResponse account? No, I don't have one of those. Why would I want one of those? Well, that's how you make money. Like, we have a GetResponse account. We loaded a bunch of people into it, and when we need money, we basically send an email and it prints money. You guys don't have that? No, but we have Netflix. Here's what's interesting. That account I've spent less money for than what most people's entertainment bill is. It's less than cable, but it prints money. But what do you invest in? So, it just goes to show this point is very, very clear. How to question the acceptance of popular thinking. So how do you even know that something's like popular thinking versus, maybe going outside? And the book Think and Grow Rich talks about this. Great book if you grab it and read it. It says challenge popular thinking requires the willingness to be unpopular and go against the norm, which is what direct sales is, right? 95% of the people are walking this way, and direct sales people almost are going in the opposite direction, going, I don't really want to end up with those results. If you look at where most people end up, that follow the go get a job, go work hard, save money, invest for the rainy day. Look at what just happened to everybody that was in that situation, unless you were considered essential. And if you were considered essential, you kind of got screwed because a lot of the people who were not essential, who were at home, actually got paid more. That's happened. I can't tell you. There are people who work with us that's happened to. Don't worry, they're not on here. So, acceptance thinking, different from your own. It's different from your, usually, and why I say it's different from your own, because most people are programmed to be average. Most people are programmed to fit into the norm. Most people are programmed, if you want to be liked, sell ice cream. Sell ice cream. Why? Because people just love ice cream. That's, you're selling what people absolutely love. So when you're going to sell something that's not ice cream, you have to have other reasons. You're going to have other skills. Marty, what's up, man? It says, discourage active participation in formal business and trade associations. I thought this was really interesting. John Maxwell's brother, inside of his companies, tells people he discourages active participation in formal business and trade associations and fraternities. What is he talking about? He's talking about networking groups. I can't tell you the number of people that I've told, do not bother going to your local networking group. Don't bother. Why? Because it usually is a bunch of people doing it the wrong way. Usually, not always. There's very few places that I've seen. I've sat in networking meetings for years, and I'm talking about years, almost a decade. I sat inside of networking meetings. I can go back to these same networking meetings, and the same people are there doing the exact same thing they were doing 10 years ago, even though they asked me what to do. And they're not any farther ahead than where they were 10 years ago. They didn't have any, goal to go further. They just had a goal to show up and act like they were moving forward. And that's what most of those meetings are. And he goes on to kind of explain that. But he discourages it. He's like, don't go where the average people are, is basically what he's saying. Don't go where the average people are. You want to go where, it'd be great to go to a startup meeting. Everybody's 2 years or younger. 2 years or younger. You go to the association meetings that people have been there decades, then it becomes about popularity, then it becomes about seniority. I mean, all the stuff he's talking about, right? If you've been to any of these meetings, you know what I'm talking about. How to question the acceptance of popular thinking. Think before you follow. Don't just acceptance thinking. Appreciate thinking different from your own. 3, continually question your own thinking. So the greatest enemy of tomorrow's success sometimes is today's success. So you've achieved something. You've hit a level and you celebrate it. And everybody celebrates you for celebrating it. And then all of a sudden you're like, ooh, your drive goes down because you're getting acceptance. You're getting positive feedback. So it doesn't feel like you need to strive because you're getting, a lot of times what people indirectly want is recognition and appreciation. When you get recognition and appreciation, it sometimes is harder to work harder for the next thing. The other thing is you always have to set the next goal. That was one of the things we were taught early on. When you look like you're nearing the goal, you need to set your next goal. What is your next goal? Do you have that set? If you don't have a goal at all, that's probably why you're not doing anything. Try new things in new ways. It says, when was the last time you did something for the first time? So it's good to get out of this is talking about getting out of your comfort zone and kind of pushing the limits. Go somewhere you've never gone. Do something you've never done. That's why it's so exciting to look online and go, oh my gosh, it'd be so cool to travel there. Like we were able to check off something off of our bucket list called Crab Island. I saw it probably 6 months ago. Was it 6 months?
Yeah, it's about 6 months ago.
And I was like, oh my gosh, we got it. And we went and tried it. And it was awesome, I mean, sometimes it doesn't work out. It's not as awesome as what you thought it was. It was different than what I thought it was a little bit, but it was still a great time. But we encourage you to get out of your comfort zone. It says most people are satisfied with the old problems, then committed to finding new solutions. Number 5, get used to being uncomfortable. It says, and this is something that I put, and I just had a conversation with a guy that I work with, and it's 50% of everything you do. 50% of everything you do will be uncomfortable. 50% of everything you do will be unpopular. To be successful. Working on a birthday, most people can't think twice about. That's a sign to me that you're with the popular thinking versus, hey, I'm going to get ahead. Who the cares if it's my birthday? Most people wouldn't work on a holiday or, hey, somebody's throwing a party. Most people wouldn't skip that. Hey, there's a concert. Most people wouldn't skip that. Hey, the new movie comes out. Most people wouldn't skip that. Most people wouldn't skip entertainment for education or entertainment for association of the right people. But if you look at the people, if you look at the people who have been the most successful, they skipped all that. But most people want that good pat on the back feeling, oh, so great to see you here. And most people won't remember you were there to begin with. Like, oh, were you at that party? I didn't even remember you were there. So popular thinking doesn't really get you where you need to go inside of business or inside of direct sales. If you want to be popular, if you want to be liked, if you want the pat on the back, go do what everybody else. It's so funny because, isn't this true? Like if I put up, hey, I got a new job at such and such, I would have 30,000 people. It wasn't 30,000, but I'd have like 300. Congratulations, great. Thanks for signing up. I put up something yesterday. I was watching this guy that makes like $700,000 a year. Business. He built a networking business, direct sales business. And it was really interesting to me. He said, the rich work for assets. It's something that, Robert Kiyosaki talks about, right? The rich work for assets. And he said something really amazing. He said the poor work for the rich and become their asset. So I kind of reworded it a little bit because that, sounds kind of unpopular. I said, what actually happens is the rich work for assets and the poor willingly sign up to become an asset. Willingly sign up. Because what do? They sign up, just get a job, just go to work. just show up 9 to 5. They don't want to do anything extra. Like, what do they talk about? Oh my gosh, I have to stay late. Well, yeah, because you're an asset of that machine. The boss isn't going to come in and stay late. The boss gets to leave early. Well, the boss might stay late, but the owner isn't staying late. The owner is, and there was this really funny story that he told, and he said, there was this guy that worked at this, pretty decent sized company, and he was in management. He really wanted to work his way up. So he finally got to the owner, and the owner's like, well, I can't talk to you right now, but I'm kind of driving around right now. Do you want to drive around? And the guy's like, yeah. So he drives, and there's this one hill in town. So he drives up this hill, and he's showing him like everything of the town and the land. And he drives up to the very, very top, and there's this huge estate. And they drive around the circle, and they look at the estate and the house and this, that, and the other thing. And he gets out of the car, and he walks around. And they overlook kind of the whole town. And he's like, isn't this amazing? And the guy's like, yeah. He goes, wouldn't this be cool to own? And the guy's like, yeah. He goes, let me tell you something. If you work really, really hard and you move up in this company and you just commit and stick to it, he goes, one day I'm going to own all this. And he's like, what? And that's the point of the story is it's like you have to realize, who are you working for? Who are you really working for? Are you working for yourself, really? Or are you really working for somebody else's dream? And here's the thing, if you don't know, you're working for somebody else if you don't know. So that's kind of the point of the story is this show is actually part of and sponsored by the MLM Millionaire Academy, which is actually a teaching that's on Sunday nights that teaches the basics on how to build and how to kind of look at business and roll through. And people are like, Sunday nights, entertainment night. Well, you might have to skip something that's on Sunday night. It's recorded, so you can watch it at any time. But it's part of the school. So if you want information, we're going to put that in the link. And I appreciate everybody for jumping on. Marty, it's good to see you. Jonathan, Dave Roeder, I saw you jump on there. Hope everybody's doing well and has a good day. Today is Thursday already?
Yep, it's Thursday.
Oh my gosh. It's Thursday already. So have a great day. If you need me, message me. Appreciate it. Anything else?
If you guys would like the notes, we're going to put the notes in the MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show Facebook group. There we go. So if you'd like those notes, go join that group, and we will see you tomorrow.
Hasta luego.